How's the Josh? Again. How's the Josh? Good. How many of you are law students here? Very well. IT, BTech, and management students. Okay. So, being on a TEDx platform ticks the boxes for a successful career, I guess. But as far as I'm concerned, I would say my journey has just begun. And success, my friends, is not a milestone. It's a long journey. And while on the journey, there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs, and one stair at a time. And while climbing those stairs, sometimes you falter, you fall. But the glory is not in walking tall always. The glory is in falling and rising again, and again walking towards the success. So my friends, this stage and TEDx would have witnessed many stories of success of various successful people, actors, celebrities, politicians, technicians, industrialists, entrepreneurs. But I'm going to narrate a story of policies and learnings. Because a wise man once said that some people learn from their own mistakes and others learn from others' mistakes. I made some mistakes of my own so that you can learn from it today. So, as a law student, I enrolled for a law course for the reason for which many of the law students do, because my father said so. So, in 2000, I enrolled in a law school, and by 2005, I was a law graduate. And after being a law graduate, I started studying for various judicial exams. And while I was preparing for these judicial exams, many of my friends, relatives, and even complete strangers who would learn that I am preparing for competitive exams would ask just one question: Saurabh, what is your plan B? It's all right that you are studying for competitive exams. Whenever the notification will be out, you will be appearing in those exams, but what's your plan B? At first, I did not know what to answer. Then I used to tell them, all right, I'll take a job in a corporate law firm and earn good money. But later on, when I studied law in depth while studying for the competitive exams, and then I knew that my calling was not corporate law, but litigation. So in June 2006, I joined the chambers of late Shri Chamanlal Sachdeva, advocate, Delhi High Court. He had 50 years of experience at that time. God bless his soul. And as a very young lawyer, I used to often bother him with a lot of questions. Like, sir, when does a lawyer become successful? When does he start earning? Very obvious questions. And he used to smile at me. Then one fine day, a colleague in our chamber, he got a job in a corporate company as a licensing officer. And many of my fellow colleagues were congratulating him. Some were envious of him. And at that time, my senior said, Saurabh, एक वकील तब मशहूर होता है when he decides that अब मुझे कुछ और नहीं करना, सिर्फ यही करना है. Which translates into that a lawyer becomes successful and has a good earning only when he decides that I will only do litigation from now on. I will not do anything else. I will not go for corporate jobs or panels. I heard him. I understood him. But I could not completely comprehend the golden words. Later, in 2009, I started having my own practice. I had my own office. And as a first generation lawyer, I faced many problems which other new lawyers do. I had a handful of clients. I did not have the negotiation power as far as the fee from the client is concerned. And on top of it, I was married, I had expenses to take care of, and there was no recurring income. So I was facing some financial issues, and one of my friends, he suggested, and actually various friends suggested that, Saurabh, why don't you go for bank panels? Bank panels would have you have a very consistent income, though the fees that they give is very meager. But since they refer cases in bulk, so you have a decent income and you have the kitchen running. So, Eureka, I found a solution to the problem. On top of it, various of my friends who had graduated now and were in practice, they used to stroll across various courts with 100 to 150 files per day, and they all got the panels from their relatives, their friends' references. So I neatly typed my resumes, applications, I circulated them among all my friends, relatives, parents, and whoever I knew could get me a panel, but to no avail. Nothing happened. Then one fine day, while I was at a courier shop, sending a courier of legal notice on behalf of my client, one gentleman approached me. He said, "Sir, are you interested in being impaneled in a bank?" I couldn't believe him. I asked him, "Who are you and how can you randomly ask a person for being impaneled in a bank?" He said that I'm a licensing officer for a very renowned bank he named. And I had a meeting with another lawyer here, but he did not fit the bill. So are you interested? Since I was getting late for the court, so I asked him to come to my office the next day. The next day, he walks into my office. He negotiated the fees. And then he told me, "Sir, you have to open a savings bank account in our bank with a meager amount of 25,000 rupees in cash." Paytm wasn't that famous at that time, not very prevalent, and I wasn't using it. So, and the account is to be opened so that your retainership fee can be credited every month. Now, my friends, since I had had a round of disappointment from my friends' relatives, so I did not trust them. I did not think the need to consult them. I pounced upon the first opportunity that I got. I handed him the money. He filled in the savings bank account form. He gave me a receipt. And of course, there was no bank, there was no bank account. He wasn't a licensing officer, he was a con man. I was duped. And by evening, I realized this. I told my family members. By night, we got him arrested. There was an FIR against him. And at the end of the day, my father, like a very concerned father, he told me just one thing, in anger, obviously. He said, "Do you emit any special fragrance that would get you a panel?" Which translates into, what is so special in you that someone would impanel you in a bank or a government PSU? That question stayed with me. It still haunts me till day. So then I decided कि अब मुझे सिर्फ यही करना है और कुछ नहीं करना. Now I will not run after panels, corporate jobs. I will only do litigation. Whatever files I have, I will put my 100% to help the client and get results. And that is what I did. Then one of my cases was about a lady, a poor widow with 3 minor children. She was thrown out of her house by her father-in-law. She had no food, no shelter, no maintenance, no income. I worked hard on that case, and later on, I represented them in a domestic violence case before the magistrate, in an injunction suit before the civil judge, and for maintenance in the family courts. By 2010, the verdict was out in our favor, and the news spread like fire in the jungle. And by the blessings of my mentor, the Almighty Lord Sri Salasar Balaji, whom I pray to, and my parents, those 10 files multiplied into hundreds and then into several hundreds. Today, day after tomorrow, I will be completing my 2 decades of practice in litigation. I have enrolled my practice into a private limited company by the name of JSSB Legal OPC Private Limited. We have 3 offices and operations pan-India. So in these 2 decades, I have helped many clients. And when a client comes to me and says, Saurabh, thank you for patiently listening to me. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for being with me through the tough times. I do not swell with joy because I am humbled by my father's words. And then I get the answer. Maybe I have started emitting a special fragrance, a fragrance of hope. A fragrance of hope. So ladies and gentlemen, my advice to you is that if you want to succeed in whatever your calling is, just remember, there is no plan B. Thank you very much. That's my time.